So our next semi-final is women's singles, and looking at the draw from the quarter-final stage, 5 different nations, and look at the 2 Japanese players playing against each other, winners of the World Junior Championships for the last 3 years. Those 2 Japanese players, Nakane Yamaguchi, who came through the qualifying, reached the final of course last week in China, came through the qualifying again this week. Well, she was beaten by her slightly older teammate Okuhara. Well, Sign and Awol, the champion from a week ago, beaten in the quarter-final stage. Led out by Nozomi Okuhara. Former World Junior Champion against the current World Champion, Marin. Well, how wonderful to see Okuhara back on the world stage. He was last year in the quarter-final of the Malaysian Super Series event, so very nearly 2 years ago. She was in a match against Sign and Awol, and at 2-love in the deciding game fell very badly and had a very, very severe knee injury. Well, great to see her back after surgery, and isn't she playing well? Won the last 2 tournaments that she's played, has Okuhara, the Vietnam Grand Prix and the Korean Grand Prix 2 weeks ago. Plus, of course, coming through this tournament, when you look at a list of results, first round she beat Sun Yu, who of course had won the Bitburger Grand Prix gold just a few weeks ago. Second round she beat the number 7 seed PV Sindhu, who's twice a World Championship bronze medalist. And yesterday, as I was saying, against the qualifier, the current World Junior Champion and beaten finalist from last week, Akane Yamaguchi. So to have a set of results like that, backing up 2 tournament wins in your last 2 tournaments played, I think is extremely impressive. And Morton Frost is just pointing out that against Yamaguchi she didn't just win, it was very comfortable, 21-15, 21-11. But let's look first of all at the 21-year-old who lives in Madrid in Spain. Down 1 place on the world ranking from a career high of 7 down to number 8, and she is the number 5 seed here. But of course, winning the world title in Copenhagen, one of the most outstanding results, I think, in world badminton ever. Not just in a world championships, but it was an extraordinary win and thoroughly deserved. She played quite brilliantly. Her matches so far, well, her toughest match was in the first round against Su Yaxing of Chinese Taipei. 3 games in that one. So to Nozomi Okuhara. Nozomi, incidentally, means hope. Did you know that in Japanese?
No.
48 in the world ranking, down 11 places. But that's because she only has 7 tournaments on her world ranking. This is her first Super Series tournament of 2014. Now, those are the matches that I was telling you about against Sun Yu, and then PV Sindhu, and then Yamaguchi. In fact, Okuhara has won 3 titles this year, because she also won the New Zealand Grand Prix earlier this year as well. I understand that New Zealand is going to become a Grand Prix Gold event next year.
That's lovely. That's good to hear.
Very good to hear.
Yes.
So, as far as these 2 players, this will be the first time they've met each other, so they won't have any previous form to go by. Or one thing is certain, that both coaches will have done their homework about
one another.
Because Carolina Marin's coach, Fernando Rivas, I was chatting to him, and my goodness, you, I think, were telling me about how he prepared his player for the World Championships and that match against Wang Yihan.
Absolutely. They had like 10 matches of her cut down in pieces from every single corner. But it's good to have Marin back in a semi-final now.
Yeah.
Of a Super Series, because you know everybody's saying, oh, did she win the World Championships? Was that a fluke and all that? Good to have her back.
There is Fernando Rivas. So the left-handed world champion, European champion as well, Carolina Marin, getting this semi-final underway. And it's a nervous start by the world champion. 2 errors.
Yeah, not only 2 errors, 2 miss hits.
Yeah. It's interesting, though, what you say about it's good to have her back in a semi-final, because when Carolina Marin won her world title, obviously she'd never won a Super Series. She still never won a Super Series. She'd only been in one final. That was the Australian Super Series, which was the last of the Super Series events prior to those World Championships, and prior to reaching the final in Sydney,
Yes.
she never got beyond a quarter-final.
No. No, so this is actually one of her very, very best results,
Yeah.
getting to a semi-final.
Yeah.
But what I'm talking about is just, you know, everybody will say, oh, you know, she was so lucky to win the World Championship, and, you know, it will never happen again, and look at this. And I think it's wonderful. I think it's all about proving that you could do it again.
Yeah. But I have little doubt in my mind that she will. I think she's got too many qualities as a player.
I agree with you, but it's so much to do with self-confidence. I must say, and be very honest about it, that it's actually first time I'm having the opportunity to watch Okuhara play. And you know, just for what I've seen here for 5 minutes, I think is wonderful. She's really quick on her feet and has got good racket skills. She's adding on the pressure all the time, and she's got a good safe play. I can understand why she was world junior champion a few years back.
Yeah.
And I can understand why the Japanese have been building her up slowly after the injury. They have not pushed her into Super Series and all that from the beginning. No, you start from the bottom again and you work your way up, because you need that confidence to play again.
It's a very nice player. I couldn't agree with you more, Morten. I think there's too many players. You have an injury, you try and come right back into the elite tier of tournament. The MetLife BWF World Super Series, of course, is the elite tier in World Badminton, the regular 12 tournaments throughout the year. And it's tough. And it not only is it difficult physically, but psychologically, I think you've got to get your confidence back and back into the winning ways.
It's not nice to go there, lose qualification, lose first round, whatever, and you keep doing that for a long time, because you know that you're still not up to it because of your injury and your recovery. Yeah, she's going for the big smashes here in the beginning. I think she should be quite thankful not to be more than 6-4 down in the first game here so far. That's good badminton. There's good pace in it.
Very good pace. It's going wide.
Yeah.
Yeah. Really is.
And that, I can see, can drive opponents off the wall when they play Okuhara. Because she is playing so safe, but with such a good pace.
Mm.
As I said, it's actually the first time I see her. And I am very impressed.
Mm. Well, I was watching her match. In fact, I think I was commentating on her match in that quarterfinal when she got injured.
Mm.
And she had won the second game against Sina Nehwal to 14.
Mm.
And, you know, my money was on her to actually win that. Now,
Yes.
a year ago, she was still only 17 then.
Mm.
The Malaysian Open.
It's out.
Didn't turn 18 until March last year. Became the youngest ever winner of the Japan National Women's Singles Championships. 16 years, 8 months when she won in 2011. World Junior Champion 2 years ago, 2012. I think what's going to be interesting, you know, going back to your point about Carolina Marin and, you know, whether it's going to be a one-off or, you know, I don't believe it will be. But I think what's going to be very interesting to me is to watch how she deals with the pressure now of being world champion. Everybody is looking at her. Everybody's expecting her to win because she's got the world title. Nobody can win all the time.
No, no, definitely not.
And it's how she deals with that continual, unrelenting pressure.
Mm.
Whether it's the first round, whether it's a semi-final like this, or whether it's a final, everybody is wanting to beat her.
Yes, it's always a good result to beat the world champion, isn't it?
Yeah.
And
And
that's
so
what people are going for.
exactly. And everybody will be watching her. Everybody will have their video cameras on her, all the players. Oh, look at that.
That's
Oh,
good play.
brilliant.
That is good play. She's not going cross court. So many players would have gone cross court on that
Yeah.
last one, but she opted to play down the line. Have a look at it. This is beautiful. That one there. Good play by Marin. And Okuhara is really covering the cross one, so that's well played by Carolina Marin.
This is fantastic.
That's a good game. That's good badminton. And I was sitting here admiring how relaxed and how well she's covering the court, Okuhara, when she's on her defense. She's really doing well. But this is good badminton by Marin. Good she's not opting for the big smash.
Mm.
But having that variation and play the slice. was very comfortable in her defence.
Oh my goodness, look at that net play. 5-point advantage against the world champion and number 5 seed Carolina Marin. She's still a teenager. Okuhara. Look at that. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, she's good.
11-6. Soji Sato, her coach.
She's almost as quick as he used to be.
Do you know, it's just going through my mind.
And that's saying a lot, I can assure you.
Yeah.
If anyone was quick, it was Sato.
Haven't heard so much calling out from Carolina Marin today.
It's really, really interesting and slash funny, you're saying
Yeah.
it. Because that's one of the things I've been thinking of. That, you know, when you talked about the pressure of being a world champion and all that, here she's in a more defensive mode. Before she was just so aggressive in everything she was doing, and she was obviously screaming on court every time she played a winner and all that, but hasn't done it at all.
No.
That was the first.
There we are, we spoke too soon.
Yes, curse of the commentator.
I like her obvious thought process as well, Morton. Okuhara.
On the attack here.
Yeah.
Yes, I know exactly what you mean. The way, again, she was able to spice it up. Variation.
Oh, yes, that's very nicely done.
8-13.
Yeah, she loves playing these cross courts at the nets, forehand, backhand, Marin, and she's really opening up very well, adding a lot of pressure on the opponent when she's playing shots like that. But here we go. Here we go. We should never have said it.
No.
No.
That was my fault. I mentioned it.
Yeah, but I'm telling you, I've been thinking that for the past 5 minutes,
Yeah.
because there's a distinct difference from when I saw her before the World Champs and then now.
Just explain that a little bit further, Morton.
What do you
Before the World Championships,
Yes.
Carolina Marin was not as vocal on court.
She was very vocal on court.
She was very vocal on court.
Before the World Champs.
Yeah,
And that was virtually after every single rally.
yeah. Certainly that was the case during the World Champs.
Yeah, and she was very aggressive in her mind, in her how she was outspoken in everything she was doing.
Yeah.
And now she's a little bit more subdued.
Yeah.
59. Service over. 10-15.
But what a good match it has been so far.
Yeah.
Very nice badminton. Good attack. Good play. Good play. That's bad luck for Carolina Marin here. That is very, very bad luck. That's good play. Look at how completely she wrong-footed her opponent. Look at that
one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a good call, line judge. It was just long.
Try to have a look at, when Carolina Marin is making a mistake, how she's looking out at her coach, Fernando. Try to have a look. I've noticed on the last 5 minutes or so, 3 occasions, that one she likes, and she plays it well.
Yeah, she does play that well.
Service over. 12-17.
Yeah, she
Oh
will
my
get
goodness.
it. Yeah, she will get it. She's quick.
Well, a pity such a wonderful rally ended on an error.
Yeah, she's disgusted with herself. But don't you love it?
Yeah.
I like the way, they show the passion.
Mm.
I like that. Look at that. She is disgusted. Obviously, it can be done to catch up, close the gap, but it will be difficult for the Spaniard.
Service over. 18-13.
good smash. Again, you see, I like the thought process and the variation in attack. Mixing it up.
I'm going to say something in the interval,
Okay.
and you can agree with me or disagree with me, that's perfectly okay. But I've noticed something about Okuhara that I really like.
Well,
Game point 13.
she's just 1 point away from the opening game. The teenager from Japan, from Nagano in Japan.
Wherever that may be.
Nagano Olympics. Wasn't there a Winter Olympics in Nagano?
Perhaps.
Oh, am I having a senior moment?
That's in, unless it's long. Yes.
Yeah. So 21-13.
First game won by Okuhara, Nozomi 21-13.
18 minutes. Well, actually, no, it's a bit longer than 18 minutes. No, it's well long. Game number 1, the former World Junior Champion against the current World Champion. Japanese coaches there all seem to be on their phones rather than...
They're living that extra life, you know. The new technology.
Yeah.
That's the beauty.
So the call of 20 seconds remaining of the 2-minute timeout was a signal for the coaches to leave and the players to get back onto court. So what will the world champion do, Carolina Marin? Will she change up her game against the former world junior champion, Nozomi Okuhara? Crikey, she's flexible.
Yes.
Yep, the traditional bow to all the court officials. I do like the way that the Japanese players and the Thailand players observe their courtesy, the traditional courtesy. I think us European players could learn a thing or two by that. So here we go, second game. And as this second game gets underway, Morton, I've got to ask you about something you were going to say about you've noticed with Okuhara that you really, really like about her style of play.
Yeah, but it's the mental approach I'm looking at here. Because when you see players, when they win a rally, lucky, not lucky, good play, not good play, whatever happens, they have this tendency to celebrate it. But they do it as a show, or trying to play the mental card against their opponents, try to annoy them a bit or whatever. But when you look at Okuhara, she's celebrating, but the way she's celebrating is so intense, but still so quiet.
Yeah.
She is a feisty player, I'm telling you. She fights tooth and nail all the way, whatever happens. And she's going to stick to her guns. And I like the way she's doing it in a small, little, understated way, but she's still doing it. And I'm telling you, she is so stubborn.
Mm. Well, what a contrast, because I mean, one of the reasons that I find Carolina Marin's celebrations or whatever it is, but the verbal yell of celebration after rallies is that I feel that it's forced. I don't feel it's natural, because it's not just one yell out, it's
No.
two. So what you've just said about this young lady,
Yeah.
and that it's more internal and it's more personalised.
It comes from the soul.
Yes. So what a contrast between the two players.
It is. The smash.
Very good smash.
Service over.
Now there's something else I want to ask you, Morten, because you were also saying that when Carolina Marin in the opening game was losing a rally, she was turning, and you said take a look at the way she's looking at her coach Fernando Rivas. Now, what did you mean by that? Is it sort of a look of help me? Are we doing the right thing? What did you?
The last.
Yeah,
Are we doing the right thing?
yeah,
Because I think she thinks she's playing the shots that he wants her to play, but it doesn't work. And she's looking out like saying, look, it doesn't work what you were telling me. And she just got to, look at that, she's looking at him again.
yeah.
As you know, you have that little shake and, you know, what can I do and all that. And she's got to go in there and she's got to play the match herself.
Yeah.
The coach is there to facilitate, help now and again, whatever he or she can. But it's the player that plays the match.
Yeah. So, in other words, you're saying that if the player disagrees with you coaches, then they have to have the...
Feel free.
Feel free. Do your own thing.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
If you don't feel that you can use the advice I'm giving you, by all means, take it to the level where you want to take it and play the match.
Mm.
That's out.
Oh.
That's better.
Yeah.
6-1.
But you see, the thing is, Morten, is that what I sort of feel that Carolina Marin has been doing so far tactically, you know, and that previous rally, not that last one, but the one prior to that, where she played that forehand cross-court net shot against so many other players, that would have been a winner. But her opponent is so quick that what is normally winners for Carolina Marin are not. And so it's not necessarily the tactics that she's being given that are wrong. It's the fact that her opponent is matching it.
She's up against someone who can really match her.
Yeah.
And I agree with you in that. And that's where she's got to stay calm.
Mm.
And she's got to play even more efficiently. And she's got to stay with her opponent to give her the opportunity and chances now and again. Because she can't force it.
Service over. 2-7.
Oh my goodness.
3-7.
Yeah, a little shake of the head. Yep, that was a bit of a blunder.
Yeah. Not to be repeated.
Mm. Mm. Well, this is interesting as well. Serve into the net by Carolina Marin. And nice to see Okuhara prepared just to go and pick up the shuttle and say, OK.
But it's all these small little things I like, and that's adding on to her personality.
It's going long, long, long. Well, you said she had to stay calm. I can see hints of panic, I'm afraid. Morton in the world champion. Well, prior to this Hong Kong Open, this young lady had never progressed past a quarter-final of a Super Series event. Only one previous quarter-final, and that was the Malaysian Open, where she got so badly injured. Well, she goes to the mid-game interval with an 8-point advantage, having already taken the first game. And Nozomi Okuhara of Japan, well, semi-final best so far. Quite frankly, it's looking as if it's going to be at least a final.
It certainly does. Volley.
Seconds. 20 seconds.
So the players return. Now, I don't know what Fernando Rivas would have advised, but I guess the thing from our perspective, Morton, and certainly alluding to what we've already discussed about the fact that Okuhara remains calm. She is not getting involved in
She's not even getting phased now.
No. Her opponent taking her time, prepared to go and pick up the shuttle when from the net when her opponent makes an error. No loud celebrations, just keeping everything in check. So I guess Fernando has probably been trying to get her to be as calm as possible.
Yeah, I hope so. I really hope so, because I think Carolina is getting frustrated, and she must not rush it as I see it. She must still play her game, which she's very good at, be extremely patient, know that a lot of things are really coming back, also more than she could possibly expect. But she's got to stay focused. She's got one advantage, Marin, to her opponent. She's got a better smash.
Yeah.
She's got a better attack. And she's got to somehow stay in the rallies for as long as it takes for her to play the final and eventual winner on her good attack.
Can't help but think back to the previous match we were watching, Morton, women's doubles, and you were saying a fairly similar sort of thing about Gracia Polly.
Exactly the same.
Yeah. Because
you become too adventurous and you can't face the fact that it keeps coming back at you.
Yeah. I understand completely. Yeah, there's another error.
44.
That's good getting that backhand back. The way she got it towards the baseline, Okuhara was really good. So Marin was doing the right thing, standing at the net, but got a little bit caught.
This is more patient though. Oh,
Yeah.
totally
Yeah, wrong-footed.
wrong-footed. Yeah.
Yeah.
16.
But that's the patience she needs. She's got to stay with her opponent. Obviously now 16-4 down, and that's this second game, this virtually hopeless. But she's got to look at this match and really look at it and learn from it.
Now that was a frustrated error.
Oh, there's been 3 or 4 already.
Yeah.
Service over. 5-17.
Oh, now that's very telling. The way that Carolina Marin
6-17.
shuffled the shuttle back into her side of the court.
Yeah, that's a long way up, 6-17. But again, just for the future, I think she should try to stay in this match for as long as possible. She's got to learn from it, because these two players are going to play a lot in the future.
Yeah.
Service over. 18-6.
Well, given the fact that you said that this is the first time that you've seen Okuhara, and given all the other Japanese players, including Yamaguchi, Mitani, Sayaka Takahashi,
Yes.
this, I can remember 2 years ago when I first watched, I got very excited about
Yes.
Okuhara.
Very understandable.
You see her as the most potential, because I mean she's only 2 points away from her first ever Super Series final.
I'm telling you, I'm on my knees.
Yeah.
She's good.
Yeah.
She is really, really good. Out.
So match points have arrived.
20. Match point 6.
Well, I said her world ranking of 48 was unrealistic. It's ridiculous. She's a whole host of match point opportunities against the reigning world champion. Look at that. Oh, and again. Overdone it.
Yeah, but still, technically a very good shot.
Yeah.
7-20.
Yeah, good follow-up.
8-20.
Too little, too late, so... Oh no, it's landed in, it's come back in. I told you there was a drift, sideways drift.
9-20.
That's the smile on Carolina's face there, and on her opponent as well.
Yeah,
And that's a little bit of a small sign, I would say, of inexperience. You know, celebrating a little bit too early and hoping and all that. You know, I know it's match point, but still. Got 11 to go. Good shot by Marin.
Oh, that's brilliant. It's landed in. 21-13, 21-9. The former world junior champion, the 19-year-old Nozomi Okuhara, has beaten the world champion. Well, what a performance by the Japanese youngster. Absolutely superb. And what a delight to see her back on the world stage after that horrific knee injury. Their confirmation, she's through to her first ever Super Series final tomorrow. 39 minutes, 21-13, 21-9, the margin of her victory over the world champion. Well, what a performance in that women's singles semi-final by the youngster Okuhara. Well, actually, they're both young because Carolina Marin, only 21 years of age. But after the women's singles, we will turn our attention to men's singles. Yeah, their Japanese teammates quietly satisfied, I should think, with their young compatriot. Well, we've just seen one world champion beaten. That was Carolina